Nigeria has opened a formal investigation into Chinese-owned e-commerce platform Temu over suspected breaches of the country's 2023 data protection law, the Nigeria Data Protection Commission said. The probe focuses on Temu's data processing practices, including possible online surveillance, cross-border data transfers, and compliance with transparency and data minimization rules. Authorities said the inquiry would determine whether the platform violated provisions of the Nigeria Data Protection Act. Temu, which has rapidly expanded in Nigeria, has faced similar scrutiny in other jurisdictions over how it handles user data. To unpack this, I am joined by Rex Abitogun, lead consultant and CEO, Management Edge. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm not sure I heard you, but can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Fantastic.
Good morning.
Good morning to you too. Well, Nigeria has launched the formal probe into Temu's data practices. How significant is this for digital commerce regulation in the country?
Well, thank you very much. To start with, it is a welcome development, and it is welcome development because it's about strengthening our digital landscape. And we must understand that it is not really about Temu. It is about my data. It is about your data. It is about our safety, your safety, safety of consumers, safety of citizens. So it is a welcome development from the Commission to investigate them. And as it is at the moment, it is not conviction. It is investigation. And most regulatory agencies around the world usually investigate any act or anything that threatens the sovereignty of any country. So what Nigeria Data Protection Commission is doing is a welcome development, considering the fact that Temu has equally been investigated in different jurisdictions across the world, and in some countries they've been fined. So what the Commission is doing is a welcome development because it has to do with strengthening our digital landscape.
Right. So talk to us. What specific indicators or behaviors typically trigger a regulator's suspicion of unlawful data processing or surveillance? And in this case, has there been anything really that we can point to?
Oh, yeah, sure. Couple of things will always trigger a regulator to investigate some certain practices. In the case of Temu, for example, I don't know if you have that app. I don't have it for reasons personal to me. But oftentimes when you check some platforms, you have some ads pop up. You have some sort of things that you can't imagine telling you to buy a laptop for about 999 naira. So there are some things that will always push the Commission to say, okay, we want to investigate the activities of these people as it relates to the data they collect. The Commission is empowered by the Nigeria Data Protection Act to safeguard the data rights of a citizen. So you will expect them, when they suspect some sort of illegal practices or some suspicious practices, such as online surveillance, which was clearly mentioned in the press release by the Commission, opaque handling of user data. It is expected that for anybody that will be collecting personal information of citizens, you must equally have some provisions in terms of taking care of those data, and also being transparent in the manner at which you collect those data, as well as issues of cross-border transfer, which has to do with data sovereignty of a nation. So these are things that, these are red lights, and when these red flags showed up, definitely you will expect the Commission to investigate this. And like I said earlier on, it is just investigation, it is not sanction. If they are found culpable, definitely there will be some remediations, but if not, definitely they will still be in the Commission. But at this stage, it is more of investigation for possible breach of data subject rights.
Right. Now, let's talk about this because, some persons, they would hear us say online surveillance, hear us talk about cross-border things, and then they are wondering what exactly do these things mean? What are they in practical terms? And so let's begin with this. Under the 2023 Act, how is online surveillance defined? And, how does or where do we draw the line between, lawful ad and then when it gets to the point where it's becoming illegal monitoring?
Okay, so when you talk about data surveillance, for example, there's possibility of monitoring user behavior or customer behavior on their platform or across platforms. So when you have, again, things like having some scripts that collect personal data of data subject, those are things you don't want to joke with because there are clear provisions in the Act that talk about what you need to specify in terms of the data that you collect. And before you collect my data, you must tell me what you want to use the data for. And there must be a consent from me to say, go ahead and use the data. But when this consent is not sought, or when this consent is not given, and you use some other means to extract those data, those are offenses that are punishable under the law. And another thing is the pattern of behavior of users, of online users. If in some jurisdictions there are clear, heavy fine on this when people monitor your pattern of shopping, and as a result of that, you begin to get some ads that you never solicit for, and or possibly you're getting some things that are inducing you to not even what you want. So these are issues that borders on data subject rights, and also individuals that need to be adequately informed in terms of what you want to use their data for. And also, this pattern can help you to, can help online users, can bridge the kind of trust that should define our digital landscape. So when there's no trust, then it's become difficult for me to put my card on any e-commerce site. When there's no trust, it becomes difficult for even government to collect data of citizens because there is a pattern that is not checkmated. So trust is the foundation when it comes to digital services.
Right. Still talking about trying to understand all of this, the probe also talks about cross-border transfers, transparency, and data minimization. Now, what do breaches of each mean in practical terms for users? You must have mentioned some of them, but I'm actually interested in the cross-border transfers and then data minimization.
Okay. Cross-border transfer is a major issue. And what that means is that if you are doing business in Nigeria, for example, in the case of Temu, Temu is a Chinese company. I think 2 years ago or 3 years ago, they moved their headquarters from China to Dublin in Ireland. If you're going to process or collect data of citizens from Nigeria, there must be clear provisions in terms of agreement on what you want to use that data for and how you're going to safeguard that data. Then the country where you are moving this data, either for processing or for anything, must have a strong data protection laws. So in a case where there's no clear provisions, like in some countries that don't have a good data privacy laws, then it becomes a major issue. But as it is, I know that Temu is bound to disclose the data of their customers to the Chinese government. And again, which means that it boils down on a data sovereignty and a threat to our territorial integrity. So what that means is that the data you're collecting from citizens, are you processing those data in Nigeria, or you are processing the data in your country? And if you are processing the data in your country, are there clear policies in terms of your data privacy policy? Did you spell it out to online shoppers or to platform users that you're going to be, what you're going to be using their data for, or that you'll be processing their data outside the jurisdiction of ordering those goods or shopping on that platform? As it stands today, like you can see, Temu handles 12.7 million Nigerian data according to the Commission. and with 70 million daily users globally. So that's a whole lot. In Korea, for example, in South Korea, within few months of launching it, they have about 445 million users on that platform. And some of the things that the commission is raising now was raised in Korea. And they launched an investigation, and eventually they found them culpable. There were sanctions, not just to Temu, but their partners that handles personal data of people that shop on their site, as well as the sellers that sell. So they have like two partners. So if this trend has been moving from one jurisdiction, from Asia to Europe and to North America, definitely you will not expect any nation to also fold its hands, including Australia, that are currently investigating the activities of Temu. So what the Commission is doing is a welcome development in terms of trying to investigate if there are clear provisions in terms of the cross-border data transfer, which has to do with data sovereignty.
All right, you were asking earlier, you were talking about, not having Temu and all of that. But one of the things that you hear from people who have that app is something that sounds more like aggressive marketing and some addictive recommendations that would make you want to stay on the app and start spending your money. I mean, they're always offering you freebies and all of those things. Do these things also, act as maybe some level of violations? Are they violations in any way?
Okay, so that's part of the issue. For example, you consider yourself as buying from a platform that gives you opportunity to shop at a very affordable or cheaper rate. All right, but when you look at what somebody is given to you for X amount of, for maybe like a lower amount of what you will get somewhere else, and even down deep in your mind, you know that this price looks questionable. But because you feel that, well, you can easily get it. And we've had a lot of cases where people order for some goods, and what they order for is different from what they get. So again, I know that when it comes to investigation like this, it's not even just the Commission. The Federal Consumer Protection is also there to also look at some of these things. And I'm sure there has been some sort of complaints from users, from customers, as well as some concerned stakeholders. So when you see Commission launching investigation, it's not just about them launching investigation. They are launching those investigations because there must have been some sort of complaints. There must have been some sort of observations from either data subjects or people that never solicit they never subscribe to your services, but they are getting ads about you, telling you to buy a particular product. Again, when you see those products, there are no clear provisions on how you can opt out, even when you don't need that particular product. So these are issues that need to be investigated. But one thing is to investigate. Another thing is the remediation in terms of the action that needs to be taken. Will it be administrative sanction, or will it be things that the Commission need to work with Temu to help them to define their operations in respect to Nigeria Data Protection Act? But by and large, definitely, this is a step in the right direction towards strengthening our digital services as well as digital landscape in Nigeria.
Right. Let's close with this. If violations are proven, what penalties or enforcement actions could realistically be imposed under this act?
Well, under the Nigeria Data Protection Act, if they are found culpable, they are liable to different fines in terms of to the tune of 2% of their gross. 2% of their gross revenue. So what that means is that not just what they make here, across the globe, whatever they make. For example, in Korea, I think it's about 6% of gross revenue. And the fine for Temu, when they were fined culpable in South Korea, was about $978,000 US. So this means a lot. So with respect to the Commission, and we have to respect that the investigation is still going on. Like I said, they have not been convicted yet. There's no any conviction. But should they be found culpable, there are different measures, including the commission providing advisory services to them in terms of the provisions of our laws. Because be it Temu, be it AliExpress, be it Amazon, any of them, including our own local e-commerce platforms, they must comply with the laws of the land, because it is not just about the law, it is about you and I, it is about safeguarding our data they collect. It is about them telling us what they want to do with our data, and it is about us having confidence that our data cannot be used as a tool to endanger our lives or the citizens' lives. So definitely respecting the laws of the land and also complying with the law is very, very important, and it's a good thing that the Commission is taking action on this. We want to see this in a transparent manner. We want to see this being concluded because there has been some sort of agitations from other hands talking about if we're driving business from the country. We're not driving. It's not about driving business away from the country. It's about doing the right thing. And also, people have also alleged that the Commission tend to look away from government organizations. So again, I know that the Commission is doing a whole lot about publicity and awareness, and also working with stakeholders in the private sector to make sure that our laws are clearly being respected and obeyed. But we want to see more actions in the direction of what the Commission was set up to do, be it in the public sector, be it in the private sector, or individuals. For as long as you collect data, be you a data controller or data processor, you must also declare, you must have the consent of data subjects, and you must protect this thing. And if you are taking this data or process this data outside the country, there must be clear guidelines as well as agreements that need to spell this out. So these are the things that we'll expect from the Commission. We hope that this investigation will be well conducted in a transparent manner, and also if they are found culpable, definitely they must apply the right sanction.
Thank you so much, Rex Abitogun, lead consultant and CEO, Management Edge. Thank you for your thoughts on the show today.